Hi everyone, I'm Emil Lego Technic and this is the start of yet another new project. Now I know we already started this handsome guy, but that I kind of got bored and there's a bit of an issue over there that I really don't want to fix right now. But don't worry, we'll get back at it eventually. Anyways, today we're starting a new project and it will be some sort of off-road truck with these two Bowie's motors here for drive, and I'm planning to have a 2-speed gearbox and a 3 differential lock, so a central differential and the front differential and the rear differential, and they will all be lockable. And as you can also see, that it will use planetary hubs. So that's the plan for now. I'm planning this to be a pretty big project, so this probably won't be the last episode of building process of this thing. Uh, and I still don't know the scale. Maybe I will use these really big Serion tires, or maybe I will use these ones which came from the Zetros, which are a bit smaller. Or who knows, I might even use these, which are from the Mercedes G-Wagon set, but they are not really that fit for an off-road truck, so I think tractor tires would be much better. So it's either the Zetros or the Xerion tires. Since I don't know the scale of the tires, I also don't know the potential width of the axles, but I do know that they have to be at least at least 15 studs wide with this overlapping from the beginning of the CV joint. There's this thing, so with that they have to be at least 15 studs wide to accommodate a differential lock. So that's why I will start with the middle part of the chassis. I will start with the central differential lock and the transmission, and then I will add the Bowie's motors, and hopefully I can finish the central frame by the end of this episode. Let's see how that goes. I have now made the differential lock of the central differential. You can see here is the differential, and as you can also see, it's driven with a gear ratio of 3 to 1, which will help with the torque. This is the locking mechanism. As you can see, these blue parts are the limiters, and they're perpendicular to each other, so that I wouldn't have to build some sort of other thing on this side. It's just way easier to do it this way. You have to design way less things, and despite that they look like they're on the same shaft, the drivetrain and the differential lock are actually on a different axle, because well, that's how it works. Now our next step is to make a 4-speed gearbox, and the Bowie's motors will most likely be set up something like that, because that way they don't occupy a lot of space. So something like this. But we're gonna see how it goes, and who knows, maybe the layout will be completely different than what I imagined in the beginning. We'll see. can see, I mounted the motors and I used a solution that I don't see used very often here, which is using these knob gears, sorry, using these knob gears like that, and the motors are set so that they occupy as little space as possible, because if I set them as I originally planned, they would have to be extremely high, which not only would occupy more space, and this side space couldn't really be used for anything other than maybe the motors for locking differentials, but if I put them like that, like above, that will result in a very bad center of gravity, which means that the model would roll over very easily. Here, most of the weight is at the bottom for now, and when I build the chassis, hopefully that translates into good performance on angles. But we'll see. Also, I'm using knob gears because, I mean, knob gears are pretty inefficient, but they are almost impossible to make, but it's almost impossible to make them slip. And if I use just if I just use like regular bevel gears, like this tan one, and then tan one here, and then some smaller ones over here, that would have cracked very easily, and that kind of defeats the whole point. So I think it's better to work inefficiently than not work at all. Now I'm gonna see what else I can do. I think this space here can be used for motors for shifting, or for shifting gears, or locking differentials. Speaking of which, I have to figure out the shifting mechanism now. We'll see, hopefully it goes well. Now I have motorized the gearbox shifting mechanism using this powered up large motor, and I have also motorized the differential locking using this powered up medium motor. Now, interesting thing about this setup is that it's not gonna work. I just realized that because the clutch is here, and if I want to motorize 3 differential locks, then uh, the moment this one stops rotating, the other ones reach their endpoint too. And considering that I will likely use worm gears, or there will just be a lot of backlash compared to this, their endpoint is gonna be way more harder, takes way longer to reach than this one. And since the clutch is only here, the moment this one stops rotating, the other ones will too. So I just realized that, but the concept is actually pretty decent because it has this clutch, which is made of a bar with a pin attached to its end, and that actually works as a very good friction clutch for these things. Also, I only have one powered up medium motor, and both of the power function ports on the buoys are occupied by buoys motors. So for everything else, I will have to use a powered up large motor like this. but in this case it actually fits the purpose, as there is a module for gearbox shifting where the motor rotates 90 degrees at a time in the Movies app. So we can just program that, and it's actually quite good. And that also allows me to have a neutral gear here. Although if I had another MIDI motor, I would probably just use that, because for one I don't need a neutral gear, and for two it's just more compact. So the next thing on our to-do list is to fix this gearbox. That is the differential lock, to fix the differential lock, and then just create outputs for the front and the rear differential lock. And maybe also install a fake engine. We'll see. We'll see. Well, as you could see in the time lapse, I tried to make a V6 with these nice engine blocks, and I almost succeeded, but the shifter collided with these with the crankshaft. When it was rotating in a certain position, the shifter would collide. So back with the old design for an engine, and more. And another positive of using such system is that I can now fit 8 cylinders, so it's now a V8, which is better than a V6, I guess. But it's still small and not very impressive. I guess this is the best I could do, so I'm not gonna complain. And I really don't know what to do next. Maybe I can prepare the frame some more and maybe reinforce a little and prepare the mounts for the links of the axles. Let's see how that goes. So the frame is mostly finished now. Only thing missing is the interior, but that's for later. So off camera, I have also installed uh, the differential locks. And you may be thinking, what the hell are these things? That's not a differential lock. Well, I will be using a so-called linkage differential lock system that usually they use it for steering, where this lever sort of rotates using, in this case, using a worm gear, and then that is connected to another lever which locks and unlocks the differential through a link. So linkage differential lock. And I also installed friction clutches using bars on both the front and the rear differential locks. So I have tested it using a medium motor that I just attached in the place of this motor using using a universal joint, and it actually works quite well. So I hope that translates well to real life. And that would be the end of this episode. If you enjoyed the video, then please click like and subscribe. But if you did not enjoy the video, then don't do that. And if you did enjoy the video but don't want to do that, that's also okay. Bye.